મારી જર્ની જે ચાલુ થઈ તે થિયેટરના કરન્ટલી પણ મારા 5 પ્લેસ ચાલે છે, 5 અલગ અલગ પ્લેસ ચાલે છે. તો થિયેટર ફોર મી ઇઝ મારું લાઈફલાઈન. ટીવી નો સ્ટાઇલ જ અલગ હતો ને અલગ છે પણ, ને હવે ઓટીટી જે આવ્યું છે તે ઇટ્સ બીન ગ્રેટ. બધાને એટલી ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટીઝ આપી છે ઓટીટીએ. કાફી લોકો મને બોલતા હતા કે અરે ડોન્ટ ડુ ધીસ ધેન યુ કાન્ટ ડુ ધેટ, ડોન્ટ ડુ ટીવી ધેન યુ વોન્ટ ગેટ ઇનટુ ધીસ. ને મારા માટે અ રોલ ઇઝ અ રોલ. સો આઈ વિલ બી લાઈક ધેટ, ભાડમાં ગયા બધા, મને કરવું છે. આઈ ડોન્ટ કેર ઇફ પીપલ then typecast me as this or that. I want to play different characters. I want to play interesting roles. I want to work with interesting people.
Let's talk about Sukhee. બહુ ઇન્ટરેસ્ટિંગ ટ્રેલર છે એનું, બધા જ શેકલ્સ તોડીને કંઈક એવું કરવાનું છે, પોતાને કરવું છે. ટોક અ બિટ અબાઉટ યોર રોલ. તમારા કેરેક્ટર વિશે થોડી વાત કરશો.
સુખી, જેમ કે આપણે ટ્રેલરમાં જોયું હશે, ઇટ્સ અબાઉટ 4 ફ્રેન્ડ્સ જે સ્કૂલ ને કોલેજમાં સાથે હતા ને હવે 20 વર્ષ પછી રિયુનિયન થાય છે એ લોકોનું. તો મારું જે કેરેક્ટર છે, ઇટ્સ અ કેરેક્ટર કોલ્ડ માનસી. તો બેસિકલી શી ઇઝ અ વર્કિંગ વુમન. તે લંડનમાં કામ કરે છે. એમ્બિશિયસ, સ્ટ્રોંગ, ઇન્ડિપેન્ડન્ટ, સિંગલ, કોટ અપ વર્ક ને એમ્બિશનમાં જ કોટ અપ છે. ને હવે 20 વર્ષ પછી એ બી આવે છે ઇન્ડિયા પાછું દોસ્તોને મળવા. एंड हाँ, तो છે તો એકદમ સિરિયસ લાગે છે, એકદમ સિરિયસ. फिल्म के दौरान ना वो एकदम मस्ती ने मजा, काफी टाइम છે ને કે આપણે લોકોના વાતે તો એકદમ સિરિયસ, એટલીસ્ટ ઓફિસમાં લાગે, પર ઓનલી પેલા સ્કૂલ ફ્રેન્ડ્સ ને અમારા જે કોલેજ ફ્રેન્ડ સાથે જ આપણે પાછા બચ્ચા થઈ જઈએ. જે માં જે છે ને બધા ઉતારીને ફેંકી દઈએ. Then we become, these childlike, mad, crazy girls. તો તેવું છે, અને તે મારો કેરેક્ટર છે.
So, you have done a lot of work from, I remember, I think I was in school, I've seen you on, MTV as a VJ. We used to think, okay, bade hoke hum bhi kuch aisa kaam karenge. And a lot of interesting television, interesting projects. As an actor, how easy or difficult it has been for you? Currently, content narration ની style પણ change થઈ, platforms પણ change થયા. Now તો like we watch everything on our phones also while we are on the go. What is your take on this? આ જે પણ બદલાયું છે અને how you have worked, because you have done very good theatre also.
મારી જર્ની જે ચાલુ થઈ તે થિયેટરના થિયેટર થઈ હતી, અને હમણાં બી હું થિયેટર કરું છું. કરન્ટલી પણ મારા 5 પ્લેસ ચાલે છે, 5 અલગ અલગ પ્લેસ ચાલે છે. તો ઇનફેક્ટ આ જે લાસ્ટ પ્લે જે મેં કીધો, that was my 55th play. So theater for me is maru lifeline.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad, because I think that's what makes me the actor that I am. The strength of my performances, I think my background comes from there. પણ છે અલગ અલગ, ટીવી નો સ્ટાઇલ જ અલગ હતો ને અલગ છે પણ, ને હવે ઓટીટી જે આવ્યું છે તે ઇટ્સ બીન ગ્રેટ. બધાને એટલી ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટીઝ આપી છે ઓટીટીએ, તો તે પણ છે. એન્ડ બટ ફોર મી, I love the fact that I can do different things. I know for a lot of actors થોડું મુશ્કેલ થઈ જાય છે કે હવે થિયેટરથી કેમ કેમેરાના માટે એડજસ્ટ કરો, બટ I love it because હું ના બહુ જલ્દી બોર થઈ જાઉં. તો મારા માટે તો it's great, because sometimes it's this and sometimes it's that, and you mold your acting accordingly. So I do love it that I can do it across all different platforms, and for me it is great. I enjoy it.
You have always done very interesting characters. You have, whether it's on screen, even on stage, the kind of projects that you have chosen. You could have become the lead, but you chose to do character roles. I mean, was it a conscious choice? Ki bahut badha loko ave ane, see, whether we like it or not like it, connection is something that works. Koi pan industry ma hoy, whether it's in this industry or any other industry.
It's not been a conscious choice. હું ના જાસ્તી પ્લાન ના કરી શકું. કાફી લોકો મને બોલતા હતા કે અરે ડોન્ટ ડુ ધીસ ધેન યુ કાન્ટ ડુ ધેટ, don't do TV then you won't get into this, don't do this role or else you won't get a lead role. Ne mara માટે a role is a role. If I find it interesting, then I will do it. કે નાનું હોય કે મોટું હોય, if I find the process, if sometimes I find the director interesting, ને મારો રોલ એકદમ જ નાનો છે, but I want to work with this director, so I will be like, then ભાડમાં ગયા બધા, મને
Yeah.
કરવું છે. I don't care if people then typecast me as this or that. So I have never made decisions based on these typical things, and there are a few typical things that they say, if you do this પછી lead તો થઈ જ નહીં શકો, અને આ કરો તો આ તો થાય જ નહીં. For me it was not about, ultimately it was not about મને lead કરવું છે. I want to play different characters, I want to play interesting roles, I want to work with interesting people, and I love doing what I do. For me it's as simple as that. તમે મને સ્ટેજ મૂકો કે કેમેરાના સામે મૂકો કે ક્યાં પણ હોય, I love it. I love putting myself in other people's shoes to live another character, to actually live it. ને મને તે બહુ ભાવે છે. So for me it's also always been about that,
Yeah.
and પછી luck બી તમે જોવો તો luck બી somewhere it, I think નસીબમાં જે હોય ક્યારે હોય ત્યારે જ થશે, I feel, I mean, not that I'm a fatalist એવું નથી, પણ sometimes I see that how much ever you run behind something na, એ ના થવાનું હોય તો નહીં. So it is a bit of that also. So let's see. Maybe next web series lead mali jai mane, and I'll be speaking to you for the next project as lead.
Anything can happen, as they say. And
Yeah.
I personally, while I was listening to you, mane personally એવું લાગે કે now when we talk of certain actresses or actors, હમણાં ના, or we talk of acha 80s na che, 90s na che, but actors like you who have been there, you are there. I will not call you as an, as someone, acha, I used to look at her when she used to come. I used to watch her when she used to come on TV. You are still there. You will never go out of fashion, if I say that. You will always trend because you're working. You are not picky about, being seen in certain manner or doing only certain kind of role or certain length હોય તો જ કરીએ. તો મને એવું લાગે છે કે maybe character actors, જો if I use that word, or actors who are not the lead, એ લોકોની longevity વધારે હોય છે, એવું તમને નથી લાગતું?
That's why we pick not to be character. No, but jokes aside, I mean, yeah, because projects ma, you'll always meet people of all ages all the time,
Yeah.
and so then it's great. And aajkal to leads be also, if you see, I think now it is changing, cinema is changing, content is changing. તમે જો તો કેટલા ફિલ્મોમાં હવે નીના ગુપ્તા અને ઓ લોકોના બી હવે leads, their age is different, but they are the leads,
They're the
of
lead.
films.
Yeah.
So I feel that our content making and content creation and the stories that we are telling are also different. So I feel that this is the perfect age, for creativity and for content, because there's so much out there, so yeah.
As you know, as we spoke, you have done so much work. You can't even use the word many. It is a lot of work. It's not about many projects, but the amount of work that you have done. I believe that whenever you work, whenever we do anything, we learn something. Which are such projects which you consider personally for yourself કે ના મારે માટે સૌથી વધારે important? બધા આપણે કંઈ પણ કામ કરીએ આપણે 100% નહીં પણ 200% આપીને જ કરીએ, but certain projects will be always special. And those projects will maybe give you an identity in a way, or maybe teach you something, or something like that. So if you can share something like that, that'll be lovely.
It is hard to pick. मैं सोचू तो नहीं, but a couple of my theatre projects, like if you see a play that I do called Vagina Monologues, તે મારા માટે is very special, because I feel that it is an important play, important message સાથે, and it is said in a fun way also,
Yeah.
So that Vagina Monologues for me has always been a very special play. Also, it's an international project. We've done some 1,000 shows.
Yeah.
So in theatre, let's say it's that. Film, I think મારા માટે Jodha Akbar was very special because I think it was one of the first few films and experience હતો નહીં જાસ્તી તે વખતે પણ working with Ashutosh Gowarikar for me was an absolute dream, you know. પેલા dream directors હોય ના જે બોલે
Yeah.
તો it was really that lovely human being, lovely director, એવરની જો જે the way he understands different types of actors and directs according to different types of actors was beautiful, and of course there was Hrithik Roshan and Aishwarya Rai, and that was also like a first, one of my first few projects, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So I think that will always be, and if they cancer એટલું મોટું હતું ના at that time, like
Yeah.
Jodha Akbar song, that song had one of, I think no Bollywood film had so many extras and dancers, and it was one of those huge, like A.R. Rahman. So the names involved, the sets, the canvas was only so huge. I think તેની પછી મેં આવું એક film કીધું નથી, અને મેં મારું first film ને આ canvas, તો for me that was a very special experience. Lots of beautiful friendships and lots of interesting people also that I've met, like each of the ADs and assistants now have become filmmakers of their own, so that was, I think, that for me was a very beautiful and memorable experience if you film joke. And but as you said, every project that I do for me is very special. There's something special about it, either the message or the people that you're working with, or something will be special about every project that you do. So yeah.
And you have worked from like early 90s, 2000 ની શરૂઆત થી. Like, what are the changes that you really love, and what are the things that you miss from that time?
All the changes I feel are necessary, and I think that's why they've been brought about. Just everything, right? Like there were no casting directors, like we used to go to production houses and personally badane photo apo aa karo te karo. I'm talking from an actor's point of view.
Yeah.
So te karo. Now there are like casting directors, and life is so much simpler because of that, because then the directors also know how to get in touch with you. Earlier, like you need to, kai jugaad karine how to get in touch with the director, how to even tell him that there's someone like Dilnaz Irani who exists, or else drop at every production. So life has become a bit simpler and easier and more convenient with casting directors and all of that. Even the content that we are making is also so much different now. We talk about, I feel like even whether it's coming to women's empowerment or things like that, we're talking about issues which need to be talked about. And that is another big change that is, there. Also earlier, I feel it's still star-centric. I'm not saying that Avanathi star-centric, but I feel now there are so many actors, good actors, and they are getting their due credit, even though they might not be from the industry, or even though they might not be some Miss Worlds and Miss Universe, like Miss Indias and all of that, but they are just good actors. So I think te pan trend je che, nani filmo no jo trends che, there is a lot of alternative being out there and being appreciated. So te baddu, I think those all little changes I feel are for the betterment, and at least for actors like me, who's not that typical I want to be a main lead, and I don't think like that, but I think it is important. So, and OTT has come and changed the whole game and has provided opportunities badana mate, which I'm very, very grateful for, so those changes have been great. But and then negative changes, if you see, then I feel social media because I am so bad at it.
I know what you mean. Oh God, yes.
I'm just not able to, because some things I want to keep personal, and I don't want to get into the lambu discussion.
I know. I understand. I exactly understand.
Yeah, so those bad things I feel, because just recently I was told by someone that you were great, you were among the top 2 who was shortlisted for this role. But the BG actress hati, tena lots of followers,
Followers go
and
on.
we need all those followers to come and watch the content. So it was very upsetting, And I was told that you were great. The director loves you, everybody loves you, but Anna Mate. And then I'm like, so there are the negatives also in this so-called change, which have happened. But what to do? It is what it is sometimes, And it's also important. It become like a CV. Like I actually was hearing, I was in a place that I was hearing, and a producer was saying, "Ha, kya kaam kiya?" I mean, I was sitting and talking because I was doing the project, but they were casting for someone else for a smaller. Kya kaam kiya hai? हाँ उसका Instagram page भेजो.
हाँ, handle देख लो, हाँ.
How is that her resume? I mean, મને કઈ બોલવું નહીં હતું તો મેં કઈ કહ્યું ના, પણ I was just listening and I was amazed કે રેઝ્યુમે ના માંગો તમે, શોરીલ નથી માંગતા, યુટ્યુબ લિંક્સ નથી માંગતા, યા કઈ શો કે એનું કઈ પ્લે એવું કઈ નથી જોયું, Instagram page. How is that a person's,
Can be a
but
yardstick. Yeah.
yeah, but so yeah, some changes are for the better, some changes are for the worst. હવે છે આ તો શું કરીએ.
What to do? Yeah, right. Okay, so let's go back to Sukhee before I let you go. All girls, I mean, most of them, on set. Any fun? I'm sure बहुत गप्पा मारे से बताए, diet थी लाइन है, exercise थी लाइन है, बद्दी जो आता था ये से. Anything that you can share, any story that you can share?
Story તો આમ નથી, but it was a lot of fun.
I'm sure.
The four of us, in fact, કેટલી બકબક the direct short cut થઈ જાય પછી બી we are still going on and on and on and on, because short માં બી બહુ improvisation અહીંયા ચાલી રહેલા. ને પછી the director used to give us a little freeway saying that મને આ scene અહીંયા છે પણ તમે લોકો કરો કઈ improvise જોઈએ. પણ જોઈએ, then she had to finally cut. She used to scream, we would not listen. She had to come and say, bas, chup, go and change. I need to shoot my next shot.
Wow.
ये तो बहुत धमाल थे गई. हाँ, fun shoot. Yeah.
What makes you Sukhee?
Performing,
Aww.
acting. I think whether I'm on stage or whether I'm in front of a camera with a unit watching or whatever it is, for me, I think the happiness that I get when I am acting or performing is nothing else gives me that. That makes me the Sukheeast.
It was lovely talking to you. Thank you very much. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.